while you front row.
Sexy, Salon, black American princess. I probably posted in the crib like an incense. Lit bitch, I could get you touched in an instance.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cameron. I'm a licensed esthetician, licensed aesthetics instructor, and owner of Lash Beauty Company. We're going to be doing a salon suite tour. I'm going to show you guys how my salon suite is set up and also give you some tips to pass your salon suite inspection that you have to get when you register your salon suite and your beauty business with state board. So I'm going to show you how to pass that. I'm also going to attach in the notes the checklist that state board is going to be grading you on so that you can get a score for your salon suite. So you can see everything in all of her glory. So with my salon suite, I really wanted to focus on making it a private beauty oasis, because that is really the truth when it comes to being a solo beautypreneur, is that we are competing with convenience. So although I am not available 24/7 to do your lashes, you do have the opportunity to come into a salon suite space that is catered just for you, just for the services that you're getting today. You don't have to worry about like at chains where you go to a chain and it's a different person every week. You don't have to worry about that here. This is a solo beauty practice, and if you are a solo beautypreneur, I advise you to market your services that way. You know, lean into the fact that no, you're not convenient, no, you might be appointment based, but what comes with that is customization, quality, and your own private beauty experience, and you just can't get that at chain salons and lash spaces and things like that. So this is her and all of her glory, and I'm going to walk you through step by step or how I store everything and what all I have as a licensed esthetician. So this area over here, I like to think of it as my dispensary area, but I do have a sink. So if you are looking for salon suite spaces, you want to make sure you are getting, or if you are going to be looking at salon suites especially, make sure that whoever owns the building has a sink in the space. You have to have working running water that provides hot and cold water in your space. So when I did the building for LQ Beauty Suites, we wanted to make sure that each salon professional has their own sink, because it can get so annoying sharing a sink with people, especially if you're all offering different services. So I wanted to make sure all my tenants have their own sink. So I do have my own sink in my salon. This is where I clean all of my utensils in between clients, tweezers, and everything like that. So you do want to make sure that you have a salon sink, okay? If you're going into a office building or office suite, and I have mixed feelings about that, so I'll save that for another video. But if you are choosing to go into a building or office suite, look into portable sinks, okay? Because you have to have some sort of area to wash your hands, utensils, and practice infection control. Other than the sink, I also have a cabinet over my sink and a cabinet below my sink. Below the sink, I usually store like my infection control items like Lucaside wipes, Lucaside, the concentration, any things that are just good for under the sink, like cleaning utensils and things like that. I typically keep under my sink. So that's all that's there. The top, or this cabinet, is really where I keep all of my esthetician essentials, beauty professional essentials. So this is the cabinet that's going to be more fun. So I know it might look a little overwhelming, but everything is organized to a T. And if you are an esthetician that is going into your own solo beauty practice, I recommend that you know your back bar to a T. I actually have a binder where I keep all of the information about the ingredients that I'm using, client records, everything about everything that I'm using is in that binder. So I usually keep my skincare things up top on the top shelf. I do have a little glass cubicle, or not glass, but like plastic acrylic cubicle that is all labeled with what is in each drawer. So eyebrow tools are labeled, implements are labeled, and so that's how I recommend you as a licensed professional go ahead and take care of your stuff that way. I always know where my fan brushes and things are because it's in a section in my cabinet labeled fan brushes. And so that's how I like to keep my stuff organized. You want to make sure all of your products are clean, wiped down. This is the black coral cleanser gel I use for eyebrows. You want to make sure all of your original bottles are always clean and wiped down. I also have some saline solution because I do use that for clients. you want to make sure that your cabinetry is very nice and organized. So I've got bowls, I've got some more brightening hydrogen pads, so I just like to keep everything organized and clean. So that is that cabinet. Next area in the salon that I want to show you is, it's like my client corner, what I like to call it. It's not even a corner, but that's what I call it. So I like to have a little spot for my clients once they finish their lashes and their brows and everything, that they can take a close-up look. So this mirror, I always keep this mirror nice and clean. It's a really cute bedazzled mirror. I usually have some mascara wands in a cup, brochure, my business cards, and then my salon grade. Your salon grade has to be present, so you have to show it in your setup in the suite. So I'll put it right here so you can see my score, see that I'm clean, and that I am state board approved. But yes, I like to call this my little client corner. And I also have this little shadow box right here. If you watched my channel before, it's a shadow box that I use to showcase all of the different lashes that I offer in the salon. So I do recommend that you have some sort of spot for your clients. I know before we just talked about like selfie corners and things like that, so I do recommend having like a spot for your clients to kind of doll up, put some lip gloss on after their appointment. I also usually have my payment processor right here as well, so it's pretty convenient. While they're looking at themselves, you know, and everything else, they can finish, pay, and do everything here. Next, I want to show you my waxing station / makeup. So I do offer makeup as well. Same thing, I like to keep myself organized. So all of my makeup utensils are organized. Everything is in organized drawers. My powder brushes when I give my guests powder to take with them if they're going to weddings and things like that. So you just want to keep everything organized, especially when you are getting ready for a state board to come into your salon suite. You just want everything to be organized, labeled, and clean. Let me show you my waxing setup. So this is actually a mini cooler, mini fridge. I like to keep my facial essentials in here, hydrogel pads, lash adhesive, J-bones, anything that I want to specifically keep cool or at a constant temperature, I keep in here. Candle warmer, because you want to have like a signature scent for your salon. So I do have a signature scent. I always have this candle going. Clients love it. They ask me all the time, what candle is this? So keep a nice signature scent for your salon. And then I also have a double wax pot. This is the one by Black Coral Wax. With this wax pot, I have it for, I used to have a single wax pot, but as a brow technician, I learned you never know what skin type is going to walk into your door, so it's good to have both waxes ready for whatever you need. So I do have the Gigi's Honey, and then I have the Black Coral Plumeria, and I specifically work on the face, so I'm not doing any full body waxing or anything like that, so that is really good for me. Now if you are going to be doing full body waxing, I do recommend like a 5-pound pot, but I don't do any full body, I only do facial waxing, so the double wax pots work great for me. I also have some applicators already closed in closed containers, because that's another thing, you can't have anything open. So for instance, if state board was to come in here and this was just wide open, I would get dinged for it. You want to make sure all of your containers are closed and labeled. These are my cleanser and post wax oils for my eyebrow waxing. If you are going to be changing the bottles that you're using, because obviously these are not the original bottles, you want to make sure you label them, keep the bottles clean, and make sure there's no product seeping out of the bottles. Before we get too much into what I keep in my brow waxing area, I want to show you guys my chair. This is a Bellagio eyebrow and lash chair. I really like this chair. It is a recliner, so it does recline, and it does have hydraulics, so you can bring your clients up or bring them down. For me especially, I cannot work with the regular or just recliners from Amazon anymore, because I really needed something that was movable, especially for brows and getting the angles. And so if you're a lash and brow person, I would recommend something like this. It's not the most comfortable when it comes to lashes, but it is doable, and you can execute lashes and brows very, very well in this chair. So I do have some drawer space as well here for my waxing eyebrow center kind of. So I do keep things here, dental bibs. Like I said, the main thing is having lots of drawer space and making sure everything is organized. These are some forms, so I always keep a form ready to go. That is a facial form, but I always keep forms. This is a client record book of all my clients. These are where you can find more additional forms and all of the forms that my clients have filled out. I also refer to this if I'm offering like any special promotions. I prefer forms, paper forms instead of digital ones, because in the event that someone disputes, you can go ahead and show the bank their signatures on things, and I've never lost a dispute to this date by having that system in place. More lash trays. I do keep some backup products, so I have some backup NARS foundations, some backup brow color products, super slim, so I use this for like brow and miscellaneous esthetician stuff as well. While my salon suite isn't massive, I really like to capitalize off of all of the space that I have in here. So over here, this is just my hot towel warmer that I use for facials. I actually am thinking about putting this in my daily salon suite rental and downsizing my towel warmer just because it's a bit bulky and I could use the counter space for something. But I use this as a retail area, so I've got some glass or acrylic shelves, and I've got some of the products that we retail down at Lash Queen. Now, a perk that my clients get if they book their appointments with me, at every appointment they get a point, or they get $1 for every point that they're spending, and they can in turn use that for future discounts on services or product down at Lash Queen. So if they wanted to rack up those points and then grab their whipped cleanser at their next lash appointment, they can use that loyalty rewards points to either get this for free or discount it to a really, really cheap rate. So my clients love that. I would recommend possibly working that into your business, working some sort of loyalty promotions or something like that, but you must do retail. If you are a solo Esty, you have to do retail. Although I do sell lash products, and we do have the Lash and Esthetician store. Before any of that, I had launched aftercare for my clients. I 100% recommend to have some sort of aftercare for your clients. And with aftercare, you can offer a plethora of things for lashes, especially. So of course, the mascara wands, the disposable ones, the travel ones, the key rings, the makeup erasers, the whipped cleanser, the rose cleanser, the foam cleanser. There's so many different options that you can use to retail to your clients, but you must have some sort of retail. I especially retail a lot of like hydrogel under eye pads to my clients, face mask, they like those a lot, clean skin towels, they love those. So find some sort of retail that aligns with what you offer and offer that to your clients. Next thing I want to show you guys is just how I organize my lash trays. So this don't look that organized right now, but they are organized by curl type and density, and they're all in their own drawer what the curl type and the density is. So that is how I organize all of my lash trays. It's the same size as my makeup one. There is approximately 9 drawers on this dresser, so it's plenty of space for me to store my lash trays, because if you're a lash artist, you know we have trays on top of trays on top of trays. Now we're moving on to my lash card, or lash and brow card, and I probably would do a separate video on this because I don't want this to get too long, and my lash and brow card is like massive, so I would do a whole separate breakdown of what all that I personally use as a licensed esthetician and lash educator. I will break down this lash card in another video, but this is just an overview of everything that I keep on it. So this side is going to be all brow related products. So I have my hybrid dyes, my aloe vera gels, which is what I use to clean up the brows for razoring. I also keep some plastic film. I also have some glue hair color remover. I always keep that. Any brow tint and lamination aftercare cards. I do give these to my clients. My clients get a brow care package or brow care bundle at the end of every single brow service. So I will, if you haven't seen that already, be sure to check out my brow lamination tutorial. I'll show you guys what what exactly my clients get at the end of the brow service, but I do keep all of that over here. Extra business cards, of course. Tweezers, brow scissors, brow applicators, wooden sticks. I always keep some supercilium lamination package. You want to always have the whole system. Brow mapping, brow mapping essentials, brow brushes and things. So far, I have to buy a new brow brush. Please don't laugh at me, but I have the Beauty Embrace, and I think I actually wiped off the name because I messed this brush up. I don't know how I messed it up, but this is one of the best brushes I've ever had. It's by Beauty Embrace in Charlotte. I did take a brow class with her, so I will have to order me another one of my brushes because this is such a nice brush, and I'm so mad. But that is all that is in that side. On this side of my lash cart, for starters, I have a gigantic mirror because this is what I use to look at lashes. I don't have time for the small mirrors I can't see. I like to use a big mirror. I do keep some hand lotions because sometimes it will be ashy. Distilled water, saline solution, hand sanitizer, and my lash cleansers. And then I have a whole bunch of lash essentials here, mascara wands, microswabs. I hope by now that you're seeing a trend that I like to keep my stuff in drawers, organized in closed containers, so all of my stuff is in a closed container. Now outside of these are the only things that are kind of in open containers, and I'm hoping Board does not ding me for it. But everything else is in a closed container out the way. Underneath my lash cart, I do keep so training manuals, dental bibs, all of like the actual education pieces that I use for my aesthetics business. I keep down there. Also keep makeup brushes and things down here as well. And then on this side, these are all lash essential stuff. I like to keep a pack of gum in my lash cart just because I drink iced coffee and you just want to make sure your breath doesn't stay on clients. But all of that is lash related stuff. We have made it towards the end of the tour. This corner right here, and you'll find I have a lot of carts. I have a lot of carts and movable things, but this one right here is for airbrush brows. I do have this Glamcore Flow. This is a fan. I will include a discount code here on the screen, and you can purchase this from Lash Beauty Company. But this is a fan. I use that drying brow dye lash baths without having to hold the fan. Love that. It's my Glamcore. These are all of my airbrush essentials, airbrush 10, the airbrush machine that I use, Reflecto Still, which is the developer that I use as well. And so that is what this entire cart is for. And then I also have a cart that I just use for all of my services. I put a dental bib down, and I pretty much roll this cart all over the room. A couple of last minute things that I want to mention is that when you are ready to apply for your salon license, you're going to go to your state board's websites. I'm in North Carolina, so we have a direct link that you can apply for your salon license, and the state board will just pop up randomly to search and look at your salon suite. They will show up with a criteria. I want to show you what this criteria is. If you are in North Carolina, I'm going to link this down below. But this is the criteria. This is what they are grading you based off of. Once they grade you, they will give you this to tell you what your score is, and you have to post this in your salon. Now, it doesn't have to be somewhere where clients can see. I typically post this inside of my dispensary, but you have to have this posted. And like I said, they do grade you on everything. I will tell you guys what I got dinged on my last time. So I had got dinged because I had a couple of spots of glue on the floor. So you want to make sure that you have all of your lash adhesive. Your floor needs to be spotless and clean. I did not have my safety data sheet for my disinfectant, so let me show you that. So I had got dinged previously on my salon suite for not having the safety data sheets that I needed. So I had all of them but one. So you want to have all of the safety data sheets that or all of the products that you're using in the salon, especially disinfectants. You want to have all of those safety data sheets on file, ready to go. So when State Board asks for them, I just always hand them this, and it's everything that I use in salon, from the isopropyl alcohol to Lucicide, Cavicide. All of the safety data sheets that I use for disinfectants is in this one. And then I also have all of the safety data sheets that I use for any product, lash lifting, extensions, anything is going to be in this one. So make sure you have all of your safety data sheets on file, because State Board will ask for them. Another thing that I got dinged on, and this is why I tell my students, you want to make sure everything is in a closed container. I had got dinged because my makeup brushes were out and they were not in a closed container. So that is why now they are put up in a drawer in a closed environment. That way I can't get dinged for them. So after you apply for that, you pass, you get your grade. State Board will give you a certificate. This is a certificate that you have to post in your salon. It has your information on the back and your license number. So you have to post this, as well as a salon license. So the State Board will send you a salon license to the address on file, and that is what you post in the salon. So as of right now, I have 3 licenses: my salon license, instructor's license, and esthetician license. Alright guys, if you have made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me, staying tuned, and watching. Hopefully this was some help to you, especially if you're a North Carolina based esthetician. Getting your salon suite license is not hard, and it can be nerve-wracking, but I love the saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance. So prepare for your salon. Make sure you have your space nice and clean. Everything is in clean, closed containers. You have your safety data sheets on file. You also want to have your licenses posted so that they can see, and then also a first aid kit. You always want to have a first aid kit. I didn't mention that earlier in the video. My first aid kit stays in my dispensary, so make sure you have those things, and I guarantee you, along with following that checklist, I guarantee you will pass your salon suite license check. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was some help to you, and I'll see you in the next one.
Girl streaming my shit, ego so big, niggas feeding my shit. Need my reparations.